We are learning about the empires of Asia under Unit 4, and Chapter 8 is all about the dynasties of China. And we are doing Section 3. And recently we learned about how China regained control from the Mongols, and it started the Ming Dynasty. And today we will cover Lesson 2 about Zheng He's explorations. Yes, you heard it right. That's how this name is pronounced, Zheng He, or something close to that. Here we go. Have your textbooks ready or go to Lodi Unified School District website. And from there, Clever Cengage Learning, using your student account and password, you will see the National Geographic Learning Resource. And from the left side, it's Unit 4, Chapter 8, Section 3. And we are learning Lesson 2 today under Section 3. And specifically, it's in pages 228 to 229. This chapter's essential question is, what legacy did China leave to the modern world? And the objective of this lesson is to identify how Chinese spread their influence across the world by sea. Zheng He's voyages spread Chinese influence and trade throughout the world, and he brought back foreign influence, ideas, and goods to China. So this lesson describes the ships and routes Zheng He took to travel farther and to more places than anyone had gone before. His expeditions include more than 300 ships and nearly 30,000 sailors. So this show of force was about more than an exploration and trade. It also communicated power, political power. So Zheng He's main mission was to glorify Yang Li as the most powerful leader or emperor in the world. So it is a way of asserting their power and control over trade routes and weaker countries. For 3 decades, Zheng He sailed 40,000 miles around Southeast Asia, East Africa, and the Middle East. After many years, his ships returned to China laden with treasure and exotic luxuries such as gold, gems, rare spices, giraffes, and zebras. So these expeditions established China's international reputation as goods and ideas were exchanged with more countries than ever before. However, not everyone was happy that China was reaching out to the other lands. There are definitely people from within the leadership of China during this time who wants to close their borders to other people from outside China. So that is their concern. They want to close China and keep it for themselves during this time. Let's take a look at Zheng He's voyages from 1405 to 1433. Between 1405 to 1407 in July, the fleet with 317 ships and 27,870 men left Nanjing with silks, porcelain, and spices for trade. And between 1407 to 1409, the fleet returned foreign ambassadors who had traveled to China on the first voyage from Sumatra, India, and elsewhere. And by 1409 to 1411, during this voyage, Zheng He fought a land battle in Sri Lanka. And the voyage was also marked by his offering of gifts to a Buddhist temple. Year 1413 to 1415, as a result of the voyage, an estimated 18 countries sent tribute and foreign ambassadors to China. And by 1417 to 1419, Zheng He's treasure fleet visited the Arabian Peninsula and for the first time, Africa. And in Aden, the Sultan presented exotic gifts such as zebras, lions, and ostriches. 1421 to 1422, Zheng He's fleet returned foreign ambassadors to their native countries after stays of several years in China. And in 1431 to 1433, the last voyage marked the end of China's age of exploration. Historians believe that Zheng He died, and on the return trip, he was buried at the sea. So that is the end of the many years of exploration of Zheng He, well, basically as he represents the Ming dynasty. So that is the summary of Zheng He's explorations. Now in your book, you will see this picture, and this illustration contrasts Zheng He's ship with that of the European explorers. So what impression might the large Chinese ship have made when it arrived in a foreign port? Now let's take a look at the review and assess questions. The first one, reading check. What was one of the purposes of Zheng He's voyages? Number 2, make generalizations. How did Zheng He's voyages demonstrate China's power? And number 3, interpret maps. How did Zheng He pay respect to Buddhism during his third voyage? Okay, go ahead, go to our Google Classroom and open this review and assess assignment, section 3, the Ming Dynasty, and answer those questions that I just read. And in slide number 3, lesson 2, don't forget to put your last name, your first name, class period, and the key vocab is voyages, and don't forget to write the title of the lesson as well, and the correct answers to the questions using your own words in complete sentences, and that will give you a full credit. Okay, so that is lesson number 2, section 3 of chapter 8 under unit 4, Zheng He's explorations.